All right, all you folks in internet land, I'd like to talk about the man, Donald J. Trump. Now, this is about the Trump fulcrum. And actually, what it's about, if anything, is the argument on the right of if Trump is or isn't the right guy. And he's not everything I've always wanted in a candidate. He's kind of more of like a troll to the establishment. And he's kind of like the canary in the coal mine, if you get what I'm saying. And I think he's been an eye opener for a lot of people. Anything dumb he's done, or things that we all together might disagree with on an individual basis, is smaller or secondary behind that point. But what I'd like to talk about is him as the fulcrum. So, whenever I get a chance and I'm not parenting or working, I like to go to a bar and have a beer or two and eat some food and talk to some random people. More, I don't have to be anywhere politics, whereas I talk politics for 10 hours every week at a flea market. It's kind of in 1 minute blurbs and passing, and people, I can actually engage with some miscellaneous people on a more personal level. One thing I have to say is, before any gap of black and white or whatever, even men and women, maybe not that one, but it's generations. And Trump is the fulcrum to move the conservatives of the older generation. Now, we'll be honest here. If anything, a lot of the older liberals might have something on the older conservatives. But my generation, I'm in my mid-30s, it's the opposite. So we have a generational shift in politics and attitudes, mostly from, the 30-somethings based on the government and what we've grown up into. And let's be honest, we hate them, we hate it, and we want to break their toys. And Trump's the perfect guy for that. But when we talk like that, people like, my father's age, who would be, I think if he was alive, he'd be 74 today. They weren't ever about this. They were kind of statists. They didn't believe in any kind of revolution. They always thought that was kind of the thing for the left, and that was like a cultural thing more than a political thing. It's not today's right. And it's not today's right because we're anything. It's today's right because our government is overgrown. Our government is mostly based on things that it can't do, and being sold to the people as one thing, but doing another. And if you're 30-something or probably younger, you ain't having it. But at the same time, the people who are over 60, let's say, aren't having what we say. Because now they're like, oh, I need that Social Security. Oh, I need my pyramid scheme money and my Medicare. I just can't die from my ailments and my age and my uselessness. No, they won't do that. It's kind of funny. It's like my grandfather's generation wanted to die on their feet with their boots on with dignity. And, well, my dad died of cancer, so it's pretty sad. But, their generation, no, they want to try to cling on. They want that medicine. They think it's something it's not. They're going to torture themselves and get 2 extra months out of life and then live on a vegetative state on our taxpayer dimes. They just can't say, oh, it's time for me to go. So this is the generational difference here. Is I think maybe you see it a little bit better in your 30s, 20s, and 40s than you do when you get to 70 and you just like, shit, I still don't want to die. But anyways, these old boomers that, should be dying because the good ones are already dead, most of them. Some of them, the conservative ones, get behind Trump. They wouldn't get behind me if you're around my age bracket and have more libertarian, I'd even say liberal fucking views in some faces, but mostly around eliminating large portions of government. I don't have a problem with liberalism once we get rid of a lot of the government we don't need. And we can fund, I don't care if the taxes stay the same and I get more, I don't give a fuck. And I get to keep a little bit more money and we can fund a little bit more. Perfect. We just don't want to have to fund dying people. That's really the big thing. And that's the generational thing, is he'll virtue signal all that crap and he is old, and there's something going on there that they, some of them, the conservative ones, will connect with him, even where the younger part of the, I'd say, conservative base thinks that, Trump is trash on like these 3 issues. The older ones and the Christians and this group and that group, we coalesce behind this dude for whatever reason. Well, for whatever reasons I just stated, and, others too. So I think moving forward, the lines are going to be changing. I mean, like post Trump, because those people are going to be dead. At least I hope so, mostly. No offense. And I hope the good ones live, and I hope the bad ones die, but it always seems to work in reverse. I just think going forward, it's going to be our world, even and especially without Trump. And it's not going to be the world for them, and it's going to be messy. And by them, you know who I mean. That's about all. Peace out.